I'm here to warn people. You keep telling me to shut up. This isn't a game.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
And if you are watching and listening to this global transmission, my friends, make no mistake, you are the resistance. It is the 10th day of February, 2014, and please never thank me for what we do on air. It is an extreme honor to be broadcasting worldwide and resisting the globalists. It is an extreme honor to be alive and able to resist these people. It is an absolute imperative to fight the globalist. It is not something you thank somebody for. I'm simply trying to survive and build a future for my family and your family in a good world together, based on justice and building, not based on fraud and lies and deceit and gangs and destruction. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Again, they're acting like they have the moral high ground with the anti-gun movement. Oh, it's for the children. Care about the kids at Sandy Hook. Care about the children. Don't you want more to die? And we need to say, how dare you, when mass shootings are flat, overall gun deaths are down 51% since 92, Justice Department own numbers. Wherever you have more guns, you have less crime. People are using firearms to frustrate and stop crime. Literally, I kept saying 14 times. That was one Justice Department number. They've got new numbers out that have been independently gathered. I was seeing a few weeks ago, 70-plus times every time there's an actual crime with a gun. Guns are used to stop crime. They have domesticated and disarmed everyone else but a handful of countries. Switzerland, the United States. And the UN openly said, July 7th, 2001, that they want a worldwide gun confiscation plan in their UNIDIR meeting. Go look it up. They said civilian ownership of firearms threatens a legitimate power monopoly of the state, and that the main goal is the abolition of private ownership of firearms, period. I just quoted it to you. Go look it up. You can type in what I just said and pull it up on their website. They're open about it in their own policy papers, and then go, we don't want your guns. We don't. There's no death panels in Obamacare. There's no doubling prices. You can keep your doctor. That's all lies of those conspiracy people that read the bill. And of course, Feinstein's been truthful and said we want to ban guns. Michael Moore has been truthful before and said the goal is to ban guns. Obama, as a state senator, you can read his quotes in the newspaper where they would send out questionnaires. When he was running for Senate, got into the state Senate, got into the federal Senate, he said, I want a total gun ban. The goal is to ban guns and have a, quote, peaceful society, except they have all the guns. See, they don't lay their guns down in government. They're arming to the teeth with war wagons, tanks, helicopters, billions of rounds of ammo, training to take over major cities. That's why the military's totally waking up, because they've got them in these briefings at the non-commissioned officer level and up, openly preparing for war with us. And the troops are going, this was all true? All these years, what all the conspiracy people said? Where do you think we learned all this? High-level military leaks. That's why we know the whole game plan. So if we lose this fight, we deserve it, folks. We've got the entire enemy attack plan. We know they're an enemy. We know they're usurpers. We know they're illegitimate. I'm getting chills right now. We know they're horrible and want to shut this country down and re-educate us, basically. The globalists have a score to settle with America because we were free compared to other nations. They want to extinguish that. The globalists are generational. They want to destroy you because of who your great-grandparents were, folks. You better get with the program and understand this. I can't believe we even have to have a debate about what side you should join out there if you work in the system. It doesn't mean you have to do a bunch. You got to do a little bit. You got to leak information. You got to legally and lawfully slow down. You got to sabotage. Legally and lawfully. There's lots of ways to not go along with the criminal tyrants. You've got to identify who else is awake. You've got to get prepared. And when you can, or if you're committed, go public, speak out. Everybody can do different things. And together, we will bring down this system as individuals. This system is designed to bring us down. It's designed to bring down productivity and independence. We must bring down the system that is designed to bring us down. we're being fed into a collective wood chipper. We have to sabotage the engine. We have to blow the engine. They're already literally shutting our power plants down, our factories, our small businesses, trying to sabotage the young and impressionable minds of young children, screwing them up in school with 2 + 2 = 5. And, you know, everybody's got 2 daddies, and 5-year-olds need to learn how to masturbate with the perv schools, trying to push inoculations and all this other garbage and abortions and all the rest of it. I mean, this is a wall of crooks that we've put up with, who at the end of the day are mentally ill, are psychopathic, are sadistic, and literally love screwing up good, wholesome things. I was looking, and nobody was perfect back then, and there were the evils of that day as well, but I was looking at high school yearbook annuals for a memorial for my uncle coming up next week with all his friends, military buddies coming into town from all over the country that I'm going to be speaking at. And we were going through all the photos and stuff at my grandmother's house on Saturday. She's almost 90 years old. And, I mean, seeing pictures of my uncle, you know, winning the hurdles and what good shape he was in, and had everybody look so healthy and so good. And they had, like, posture awards at McCallum High School where he went to school, and here in Austin. And it was all about, awards for being honorable and, like, you know, helping disabled children, and just... And people were really into that. They were really into being good, but the evil system manipulated their goodness to carry out evil missions later and to literally empower this systematic takeover of the planet, while the globalists were also attacking that goodness and undermining America at the same time. Because it's full spectrum attack. It's full spectrum takeover. So here is the top story, ladies and gentlemen. Mayors. Nationwide gun confiscation is goal of Mayors Against Illegal Guns. And the headline really should be, and it's a good headline, it should be, Mayor blows the whistle on secret gun confiscation plan. I mean, this is so big that he's in the meetings with mayors for a disarmed, enslaved America should be the real name. And then we have the mayor pro tem in Austin, who's part of Bloomberg's group on record, trying to get gun shows banned, trying to get everything registered, saying to somebody with a sign that says, "Don't take my guns." We're going to play that clip in a moment. Don't worry, we're not going to do that now, but after we do this registration, remember last year they're trying to pass that, we're going to do that. You're going to need that sign. The incredible evil that they go on the news and say, this is just reasonable. Nobody wants to take your guns. That's a conspiracy theory. Don't listen to those people when it's their stated goal of the UN, Handgun Control Incorporated, the Violence Policy Center, all of it. They're literally like in the military in World War I with loudspeakers. The Germans started it, and then the British picked it up. They would say in English, your people have surrendered. We're coming over. Put your hands up and we won't shoot. You don't have to fight. You don't have to die. And people would panic in the trenches and drop their guns. And you'd have the officers going, no, it's a ruse. No, you're lying. You're lying, Colonel. It's not a ruse. I get to not fight. I get to go home to mommy. And the colonel had to pull his sidearm and start shooting his own troops. And then the Germans would come pouring over, just start slaughtering, bayoneting. It's the same deal. We're not coming for your guns. There's no Obamacare increasing prices. There's no socialist takeover. There's no plan to legalize the illegals, even though we are going to do it. There's no plan to fund and arm al-Qaeda. Nothing happened at Benghazi. On and on and on and on. It's a military tactic, of which we're not going to take your guns. We just take them everywhere we're in control, every city, every country. It's just like Mars Attacks. Don't run. We are your friends. You guys cue it up. I mean, this might as well be the White House's announcement.
Don't run. We are your friends.
And it works. People in the movie put their hands up when they say, don't run, we're your friends. And they see the aliens shoot people, and they disintegrate, and they still put their hands up. And you know, that's actually how it works. I could walk up with a hatchet and go, don't block this, because I'm not going to hit you in the head with it, and just hatchet you in the head. Again, it's like that scene in Save It Private Ryan. We need to find that scene where he's beating the German soldier. They're rolling around with daggers, with bayonets. And that's actually really happened in war. And he goes, shh, let's be friends. And he gives up for a minute. He gets the initiative and drives that knife right into him. And you know, we have all their battle plans. If we sit here and believe these deceitful liars, we get what we deserve. The point I'm getting at here is it's such a big idea, and it's so simple, but at the same time, I can't even say it. It's so incredible. They are treacherous enemies taking over for corporate interests that want to monopolize and control the economy and make us poor to control us. They've taken the guns. They're lying to the public saying they don't want to take them. I know you know their plan is to take them, but you've got to get this info out to everyone and say, listen, do you understand the government's arming to the teeth and corporate interests are while they want to disarm the general public? Do you understand that actual gun crime's dropping because gun ownership is increasing? Do you understand the gun culture is actually seen as sexy and cool and all the liberals are buying guns? Look, women in bikinis with guns could save the planet. You make guns a sex symbol again, which is starting to happen. It's over. It's over, folks. That's why we have a big centerfold of a bunch of fast cars, American Eagles, and Leanne McAdoo with 50 caliber rifles in the new February issue. Because that's how we're going to win, is with our own symbols of what's good and wholesome and strong versus the horrible, broke-back, globalist, weak, dependent, welfare, crime-ridden Chicago, New York, big city crime boss cesspits. Okay, we have to get on the offensive and say, listen, you little dirty, stinking, grimer, worm tongue, speaking in our ear, telling us stand down, telling us go along, telling us we're done. No, we recognize you as the enemy, as a fraud. We don't listen to anything comes over your loudspeakers. You're Tokyo Rose saying, lay down, GI. You're like Baghdad Bob saying, we've kicked the Americans completely out of Iraq. They're not even in the country as bombers fly over and explosions 2 miles away. We're kicking your butt. So go ahead and nuke cities and blame it on the Liberty Movement. Go ahead and kill me, New World Order. Go ahead and pull whatever you're going to pull. Nothing's stopping us. We have the initiative, and people want to be free, and you're not stopping us. You're not going to get rid of humanity. You're not going to force merge us with machines. You're not going to keep jacking the food and the water. We're banning your GMO worldwide. We're discovering all the hidden tech we told you about 15 years ago and everything. The public's discovering that. The Trojan horses. The tricks only work once. They don't work over and over again. And now as you suck the resources out to make us poor, it's going to have the opposite effect because we're going to tell everybody who did it. Do you understand that, scum? Do you understand me? So again, here is the giant news, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to play these clips right now. You need to get this article. I'm going to have more articles out on this. The big news is everybody in the media, every other talk show host, everybody that listens to this show, I could care less if you give us credit. In fact, I want you to be bigger than I am. Just at a selfish level, I don't like to be absolute tip of the spear, okay? I've walked point enough. All of us need to attack at once with the truth viciously. For all our ancestors, for us currently and our children, and for basic justice that a bunch of scum not be allowed to run everything. I mean, it is wrong to have a bunch of anti-human, control-freak gangster slime bags with crazed, criminally active eyes. Just look at Bloomberg. Can you punch my computer up? Just look at that smirking evil intelligence, absolutely hell-bent on bankrupting the gun makers. He used to admit that years ago, taking all the guns, going, I don't want your guns. I'm actually more pro-Second Amendment than anybody. Don't run, I'm your friend. Just register them and just give us a gas. We spare your lives, like right out of The Road Warrior. The great, humongous, the Ayatollah of rock and roller says that if you just lay down and give us the gas, we will be your friend. And people try to run and give them the gas, and they rape and kill them. But you won't listen. Humongous wants to cut your head off and stick it on a spear. Humongous, that's what humongous does. Mayor Bloomberg is a 21st century, suited, humongous, Wall Street scamming piece of crap. Look at him. Put him on screen. Just look at him. He thinks that you are his slave. He thinks you're broken. He thinks you don't have a spirit. He thinks that you are meat on the table for him to eat. Well, I got news for you, jackass. I am not your slave, and we are rousing and rising the human spirit, and it will not be subverted. So I'll tell you what's happening. I've studied the global elite, and I've studied their history. They're getting so much blowback from all the poison and the cultural garbage. Their kids are all screwed up. The elite aren't as hardworking as they used to be. They're falling apart. They wanted to make us weak. They're weak. He's weak. He's only making people like us stronger. You think you can attack me? You think you can pull this stuff on somebody like me? and my ancestors, everybody else's ancestors out there, and they won't activate something you can't even deal with, you scum. Oh, yeah, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. As the spirit of humanity begins to rise, nothing's going to stop us. Nothing on earth's going to stop us. We're committed. The juggernaut started to roll downhill at you, and it's going to get faster and faster and faster. And let's play a game of chicken, New World Order. You think when you set off nukes or cause World War III, you're not going to be fished out of those bunkers? You don't think all the military in those bunkers with you aren't going to realize who did it all and aren't going to do you-know-what to all of you? No matter what you do, you're going to fail. And you'll never kick the ghost out of the machine that is liberty. You understand that? Excuse me. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are on the verge of the new Renaissance. We are on the verge of so much good. If we just realize that they've taken over the churches, they've taken over the culture, they have literally poisoned the society, so crones like Hillary Clinton, punchupdrudgereport.com, look at that ugly, evil, I mean ugly spiritually, ugly, evil witch, and realize, is that maggot meant to dominate us? Are we meant to be her slave? No. Excuse me. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, is that I am so excited about this because if you realize we have them sneaking around in secret meetings with the plan to register the guns, to confiscate them, to violate the civil rights of all Americans. This is civil right, like not letting black people vote or not, you know, all the rest of it. They want to steal your right to defend yourself. They literally want you domesticated. They want to dehorn you, declaw you. This is what they think. And you've got to realize it and take it personal. I mean, I cannot believe Kit Daniels wrote an article about this on Friday, and no of the big gun publications, no one picked it up. I mean, it's in the city's newspaper. Mayor John C. Tazinski, if I'm pronouncing that right, I want to get him on. How do you pronounce that? T-K-A-Z, Tazik, said he quit the group, Taziek, after he quit the group after realizing it was simply a vehicle for Michael Bloomberg to promote his personal gun control agenda. He goes, it didn't take long to realize in the meetings that their plan was to not stop felons from getting illegal guns. He goes, under the guise of helping mayors facing a crime and drug epidemic, the group is intended to promote confiscation of guns from law-abiding citizens. You got a bunch of big Wall Street and Hollywood people and Obama and all these people trying to get our guns, and the Republicans won't even get vicious. They argue back and forth about, now we are for sensible gun control, but, you know, this provision goes too far. It should be, look, you've taken guns everywhere you've ever been. Stop acting like you don't want to take them. Shut up, Piers Morgan, redcoat trash. Go back to England with your crime rate 10 times higher than ours when it comes to mugging, stabbings, and killings. Oh, yeah, there's almost no gun crime because all the guns are confiscated. And the thugs run around raping and killing whoever they want. The facts are in. England has the highest crime rate in Western Europe. Switzerland has the lowest in the world. Because Switzerland, everyone is packing full auto. Which isn't even really that good. I don't like full auto. The point is, because they can select fire down to single or 3 bursts. The point is that it's just such a fraud. And Adon Salazar's got a big article coming out. Shouldn't have been yelling earlier, or growling, actually. Adon Salazar's got an article coming out. 50 mayors have exited because they were in these meetings with Bloomberg. Since this broke, he's now found mainstream news buried where 50 mayors have exited the group saying they don't want to confiscate guns. It's happening. It's happening. So the implosion's happening, but if the tree falls and nobody's there to hear it, did it make a sound? You've got to get the articles that are going to come out and the articles that have already come out and my basic video that's up on Infowars.com, and you've got to get it out to everybody. Now, there's so much news over the top that I haven't even gotten to. I'm going to pray during the next break that I can focus and just cover this all. There is so much. Stay with us into the next hour. But there's the video I did yesterday, and I would have come in yesterday, but I was already set to go shooting with friends and family. And so I shot this video so David Knight could break it down. David did a great job on the show yesterday going over all of it. And what I'll do is later in the next hour, after I've covered all the huge Iran news, Olympics news, banking news, I've got to get to it. It's all insane. I will get to all the clips of them admitting the conspiracy to disarm the American people. And I can do a concise report that we can add to articles live on air, but that we can add once it's gone to YouTube to wake folks up. But lastly, it is absolutely essential for everyone out there to financially support this transmission. We're here 110% going up against the globalists, and we are having major victories, but we're being attacked as well. White House run groups are all on record literally saying, I'm calling for violence, need to be arrested. That's because they're hoping they could sell that idea. They're dreaming. I don't care. I want to keep living, but I sure want to beat you, and that comes first. So I'm not worried about it. And the issue is, I do worry about losing, though. So just please fund us. Buy the InfoWarsLife.com coffee, the Survival Shield, the Fluoride Shield, the Super Male Vitality. That's great for women as well. Consult your physician, though, because this is really high-powered, real stuff. And your purchases make the broadcast possible. We're going to end the special today where you can get 5 months free. We do that always in December into January. We went long this year to see the nightly news. You can get a membership for $5.95 a month or get a year membership and get almost half a year, 5.3 months free at prisonplanet.tv and see the nightly news. And 11 people can use the membership simultaneously. Best deal out there in subscriber news. And you are funding the tip of the spear. Literal Viking berserk news insanity against the globalist madness. We love liberty, and we are insane for freedom, and we will defeat the enemy because we are desperate.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.